Hello everyone, welcome to my Java programming course. Today, we'll discuss conditional operators and see how they are applied in practice. To check a condition in programming, you need to use specific conditional constructs. The first construct is if-else, where the condition specified in the parentheses after if is checked first. If the condition is true, the code within the if block will be executed. If the condition is false, the else block will be executed, regardless of any other conditions. As we can see in the example, we're checking in the if statement whether our input number n is greater than 10. If this condition is true, the text programmed in the body of the if block will be printed to the console. In this case, it will output n is greater than 10. If the condition is false, the else block will be triggered, and it will print to the console that n is less than 10. In our example, the else block will execute because the condition in the if statement is false. In the console, the text from the body of the else statement was indeed printed. Sometimes, there are situations where we need to check multiple conditions. In such cases, we need to use a slightly different structure by adding another conditional operator, else if, to our previous construction. This structure works as follows. First, the condition in the if statement is checked. If it is false, the next step is to check the condition in the else if statement, where the condition to be checked is also specified within the parentheses. If the condition in this statement is also false, then the else statement will be executed regardless of the condition. In our example, the else statement was executed because the two preceding conditions turned out to be false. By changing our number n, we can see that the condition in the else if statement has now turned out to be true. There can be multiple else if statements within this structure, depending on the need to check several conditions. However, there are often situations where you need to check many conditions, and in such cases, using the previous operators would clutter the code. For these scenarios, the switch case statement is specifically designed as a better alternative. The switch case statement works as follows. In the parentheses of the switch statement, you pass the variable that will act as the identifier for the cases. For example, if you know the day of the week, you pass this number to the switch statement. Inside the switch block, you write case followed by the possible value, and within that case, you specify what should be executed if the case value matches the value passed to the switch. Each case block should also include a break statement, which immediately terminates the execution of the switch statement. In our example, we want to find out the name of the day of the week based on its number. We create cases for each of the 7 days of the week, and the name of each case corresponds to its number in the week. When the provided week number matches one of the case labels, only that specific case will be executed. There should also be a default case, which will execute if none of the specified cases match the provided value and all other cases are not true. As a result, the console displayed the name Saturday because the number 7 was passed to the switch statement, which corresponds to Saturday in the week. So today we discussed conditional operators in Java and wrote several examples. Now, try to write your own examples using these conditional operators. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next lessons.